Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We have generally made critics to religious pluralism and critics at the very foundation of religious pluralism, which is secular humanism. So now let's take a look at what the Quran says about the phenomenon of many religions or diversity of religions. So my discussion today, I intend to talk about the Quranic conceptions or the Quranic perspective of plural phenomenon in religions. So I have only 2 slides to discuss with all of you. Let's take a look at the first slides. Yeah. Again, I'm going to discuss the concept of Tawheed, but this time I'm going to zoom to how the Quran present the concept of Tawheed and how this concept of Tawheed help the Muslims to understand um, coexistence, especially in terms of existence of different religions, of many religions. Now, it is essential for Muslims to understand that the way the Quran projects the idea of existence of others or the pluralistic phenomenon of the nature is based on the Shahada itself. You know, as you know that the Shahada read as there is no God other than Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is uh, his messenger. So basically, if we look at this Shahada, it uh, clarifies that they are people believing in gods other than Allah. This essentially uh, implies that regardless of what the messages or regardless of the messages sent by Allah by means of his prophets, that people will continue to believe in other than him, will continue to believe in other than what the prophets has communicated in their messages. So this is one important uh, meanings that we can derive from the Shahada. And Shahada also helps us to understand that the essence of Islam is to help the Muslims to understand the reality of this world. You know, we can carry on to believe in what we believe, but at the same time also to understand the reality around us. Now, the concept of Tawhid as propagated by the Quran explains how Muslims should deal with diversity. Yeah. So first, diversity in the context of uh, human relationship with God. So the concept of Tawhid explain about the dimensions of man and the dimensions of um, man towards God. Yeah, that this is a matter of plurality, man and God. So they are sort of two entities. That man is not the only entity in this world. Yeah, first. And secondly, man and revelations. And we know that as Muslims, Allah have sent prophet to different group of peoples, and there were many prophets. And one essential message in the prophets were this message of Tawhid, regardless of the different Sharia followed by the prophets. And also the Quran explains about the relationship of man with others, man with the others, with the society, with the people around him, the relationship between man and man. Yeah. And finally, the relationship between man and the nature, things other than man, the universe, the plants, the animals, and the whole nature. All right, so let's go one by one. Now, with regard to the concept of, or with regard to the relationship between man and God, the Quran mentions it clearly that God, or Allah, is the creator is the creator of everything and everyone, and God does not leave man. Oh, sorry, and there is every man is his creations, and God is not biased in the sense that he prefers one from another. So every man is the same in his eyes. Yeah, that he does not have preference for a certain race or for a certain group of people. Yeah, this is one important thing about how Muslims perceive God. And secondly, with regard to the relationship of man and revelation, Muslims, we know that there are many prophets, and all these prophets communicate the message of Tawhid. And the essential message of prophets is that Allah does not leave man without guidance. So all the prophets came with guidance. All these prophets were true prophets, and Muslims, it is part of the cardinal faith pillars of Iman for Muslims to um, not believe in these prophets. Yeah, and men or Muslims have to believe, to refer to the prophets, and not only to rely on their reasoning. So whatever the messages taught by the prophets are important, are fundamental, and um, prophets are to be taken as as our references. Yeah, and this is what Islam has been, what this is what has been propagated in the Quran about all these prophets. Yeah, and this also signifies that Islam is the religion for all. It's a universal religion in the sense that it is the religion from the very beginning until today. It's the religion of all the prophets, not only a single prophet. Yeah. And with regard to the relationship between man and the society, man, the people around him, we know that the Quran put it in such a way that man has certain mission to accomplish in this world, and man has to actualize the will of God. So, this mission is the will of God, and man has to accomplish this mission. So Allah makes man to become vicegerent, his vicegerent to become his servant at the same time. So he administer the world, and he administer the world in submission to him. For making man unable to carry out these tasks as vicegerent, Allah has given man, all men without exception, a certain, a very delicate quality which is called fitrah. All men without exception, including non-Muslims. Yeah? So man has this fitrah, and therefore man can interact with one another. So this fitrah gives man its dignity, and that's why Allah says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. So Allah has given man with these special characteristics of fitrah, and because of that, he is excellent in terms of his creation. And what's more, when man is given the capacity, man is given the freedom to think, freedom of will, and freedom to actualize his will. Yeah, and because of that, man should participate in his social reality, that man should not live in exclusiveness, and man has to be together with the society, and living in coexistence is not wrong from the perspective of Islam. As a matter of fact, imposing Islam to others is regarded as, against the spirit of the Quran, because the Quran says that there is no coercion in religion. Yeah, and the Quran encourage the Muslims to get to know each other. This is in Surah Al-Hujurat, yeah, where the Quran says this. The Quran says that Allah has created men and women and different, races, people of different languages to get to know each other. لِتَعَارَفُوا. And then with regard to the relationship between man and nature, Allah explained that the nature is His sunnatullah. He has certain order for the creation. sorry, for the creation other than man, for the nature, and these are signs of his majestic power, and man, and these creations, they are subservient to man. So these are the different types of entities in the universe, and man is expected to relate with all different entities. So this is one perspective from the Quran in terms of guiding the Muslims on to live with the diversity. All right. And with regard to these slides, I wish to explain the thing that perhaps bring confusion to all of us in terms of which one are we going to we supposed to fulfill, his ontological will or his legal will. Well, let's take a look at what the ontological will of Allah means. Yeah, the ontological will is a will that explain Allah in the sense that he is the creator of everything and everyone. So we do not have the power to stop him from creating. This is his majestic power. Yeah. So he creates everything, and because of that, he's the creator. He's a great creator. He's a great creator, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Uh, and when Allah creates different religions, this is part of his design. This is part of his design with God, and because of that, he has the liberty to design. Yeah. Now, what about his legal will? His legal will is that he wants man, the only creation in this world, that to submit to him by choice and not by design. The rest of the creations were created by design. So they have been given certain tasks to do or certain order, but this is not the situation for man, because man is given freedom. And to actualize freedom, what is the rule of freedom to man? The rule of freedom for man is to give him the liberty to choose. So he has thinking ability, he has capacity, and this complements or this complements his freedom. Yeah? And because of man's freedom, he's not supposed to be imposed. It's not supposed to be forced. So when he accepts religion, he do it freely out of his will. But man cannot be forced to have mutual exchange in terms of how he believes in religion. Yeah, because in Surah Al-Kafirun Allah says that you believe the way you want to believe, and we Muslims believe the way we want to believe. Yeah. So this is these verses were revealed to Prophet Muhammad when the mushrikun asked him to compromise, to have a mutual compromise, that today we believe in your God and the next day you believe in our God. So this is impossible. This is prohibited in Islam. Yeah. And the will of Allah, that his ontological will is that he makes people in different religions, so there is avenue for da'wah. Otherwise there is no reason for making men, no reason for making the heaven and hell, no reason for having virtues and vices, punishment, and reward. Yeah. Why? Because this the diversity in the setting will make a need for men to al-amru bil ma'ruf wa nahyu anil munkar. And when men call people towards goodness or prohibit men from doing munkar, especially the Muslims, we are reminded to do it with wisdom, with goodly advice, and with better argument. So basically, this is how the Quran, put plurality of existence into perspectives, and place man to act in accordance to his nature, to um, realize his potential and to realize his faith out of the um, credibility that Allah has conferred upon him. So basically, when man choose to be a believer, this he is liable to his choices, and for that um, he is responsible. He is responsible to his choices. So I think that's about it for now. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.